Yes, youngster, and as impressive as Usyk's performance was, boxing managed to shoot itself in the foot once again. And how does it do this? I think it's really the way it's set up. Boxing is very subjective, and one of the issues is the rounds, right? Like there used to be 15-round fights, in the 70s and 60s and whatnot. And even more before that. I mean, I think the rules changed a little bit where a knockdown ended around way back in the early days of Queensberry, and now that's a little different. But, one of the brilliant moves Dana White did when he took over the UFC is he learned from boxing's mistakes, and one of the first things he did is he shortened the fights, right? 3 5-minute rounds makes it very definitive, right? Like, it's usually very clear in MMA who won a round. Now, obviously, it's a lot easier to determine in MMA because there's so many different styles blending. You kind of get the idea of who's got an edge on somebody else. Boxing is a little bit more, the scope is limited, right? But I think if it was every boxing match was 3 rounds on a 10-point must system, you get a much more effective accounting of the fights. But when the rounds go on for so long and the way people behave in rounds, I mean, there's champions. I remember Jimmy Paul, an old lightweight champ, used to give away the first 3 rounds, and he didn't care because he had 15 rounds to work, and his trainer used to yell at him, hey dude, this round is as important as the last round, and that's true. And the problem with boxing is you kind of forget where you are even, you know what I mean? And scoring in isolation is a job for the judges, but the fans don't have to do that and don't do that because it's not enjoyable to do it that way. That's why I don't want to score every fight I watch. Pacquiao's had this happen a number of times to him. I mean, look, I don't think he lost the second Shane Mosley fight. I don't think De La Hoya lost to Trinidad. I don't think I meant De La Hoya didn't lose the second Mosley fight. Pacquiao didn't lose the Tim Bradley fight. But they made it into a trilogy, made a lot of money off it. And what happens because of, I think, these structural things, the rounds and stuff like that, what happens is people scream corruption because obviously it's ripe for corruption too, the way it's set up. All you need is a friendly ref or a friendly judge to get a DQ and you've won a bunch of money, right? And that's why organized crime and the Don King Act and all that were so important to boxing. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's anything so nefarious as that. It's just that when it was created and as boxing's evolved, it hasn't evolved for the better. UFC's making strides to improve, right? That 12-6 elbow being illegal is gone, which is nice. And little by little, things get better. Boxing, little by little, things stay the same, it seems. Everybody read my book, Warrior of the Light.